Okay, hi. It's been a while. I've been traveling and driving a lot. I've moved about 700 miles in about 2 weeks, which is uh a lot more than my usual 100 tops. But in moving so much, I kind of learned kind of how to refine my process on switching boondocking locations and kind of what it takes to move from one national park to a different national park. I usually can stay in a spot for about 2 weeks at a time. At the end of 2 weeks, the tanks in my RV are usually filling up, food is running low, and I'm running out of water. So even if a spot is 2 hours away, it'll take me closer to 10 hours to get there just because of all the chores I have to do in town before I start driving. And then I always add a couple extra hours considering my RV doesn't go that fast. It goes 40 to 50 miles an hour on a good day. If you're boondocking, you can stay at any U.S. National Forest or BLM land for 14 days a month before you have to move to a new location that is at least 25 miles or more away. If you want more of a long-term solution, it's kind of hard to find year-round, but I'd say a good 9 months out of the year you can be in two spots. There is a place called the LTVA, which is in Quartzsite, and I think there's two other locations throughout Southern California and Arizona. And for I think like $300 to $400 a month, or $300 to $400 in total, you can stay there from I think it's October to April. In reality, for me at least, and what my rig's capable of, I'll go November to early April. Once it starts getting hot in the LTV area, you can move north to Bishop, California. And the Bishop branch of the Bureau of Land Management, they offer a 3-month pass in and around the Mammoth Lakes area. You get access to 3 campgrounds, and you can stay there up to 3 months for $320. So that can take care of September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. That's already 8 months. So 11 months out of the year, you can be in 2 locations. If you have good air conditioning or can withstand some of the hotter temperatures, you're really only moving 3, 4, 5 hours away. And then you can stay at a Bureau of Land Management twice, and that's your whole year's worth of rent for $700 plus gas. As far as moving to actual new locations, I usually start planning about a week, sometimes even earlier if I have free time. Just kind of the course of where I'm going to start driving or checking out different campsites on Campendium. And then I start making a list of what I need to do. So the most common things I get when I go into town, first start with just general RV maintenance. That goes for emptying the gray water and black water tanks, refilling the fresh water, refilling the propane, which actually surprisingly I only need to do like once a month for propane, and then groceries and laundry as well. Those are pretty big time consumers when you're going into town. I usually try to get to sites before it's dark, just for safety and kind of getting the vibe. You don't want to be stuck in like a desperate situation. And then there's things that kind of come up by chance. So I say I need to pick up packages from an Amazon locker or the U.S. Post Office. I can make a whole video on how to get mail. And getting a haircut. I'm kind of due for a haircut in about a week. And I can kind of boil that down to once a month. So just general stuff like that really eats into your day if you're trying to do it all in one day. So what I'm trying to do moving forward is to break it up into 2 days. RV parks are a great kind of one-stop shop to, I'd say, take care of maybe half of the list I have to do. And you don't necessarily have to stay at the RV park to use their amenities. A lot of RV parks offer non-guest services, so emptying your tanks, getting your propane filled, and water, you can just pay for those services and not have to book a $60 a night plot of land. At least in my experience, driving an old RV, if you're getting into RV or van life, buying an older vehicle is it comes with its challenges. I think every time I've driven this car, either something's gone wrong or it's just been really sketchy to drive. My first drive to Quartzsite, I had to get new tires. I've had electrical controllers fall out of the wall. A pin went into an engine component that I had to go to see a mechanic about. I had to change the oil, so general maintenance stuff as well. It's not like you're in a major city like Los Angeles where you have 4 or 5 lane highways. Oftentimes you'll find yourself driving on a 2-lane street, traffic going one way and then opposing traffic coming the other way. And there's not a lot of barriers to protect you, and the roads sometimes can be not that great. I found at least breaking up and planning my trip and just kind of learning where I can stay for cheap or sites to find new spots to potentially camp in have really helped kind of move this along a lot easier. This is all the kind of like minutia not many people, I think, talk about when boondocking or kind of living on the road is the general maintenance you have to do on your vehicle. And it's just like living in an apartment, going grocery shopping, except you're going grocery shopping in different towns. And you're kind of compressing it all into one day because, you know, when I'm out here, I really don't want to leave. I think the downside of an RV, or maybe a van, I don't know, is you're moving your whole house. You're driving your house 70 miles an hour. And you're parking your house in a parking lot to go get groceries, versus if you have a tow hitch, you can leave your campground in a regular car. And I think there's a little luxury in that. So yeah, that's kind of what I've learned about switching boondocking locations. Lastly, if like you're in a pinch, I found myself driving from Utah to California, and I actually spent the night in Nevada, like halfway through. And there are free truck stops. There are gas stations that'll let you park on the gravel and spend the night, as long as you're respectful and kind of leave early. No one really has a problem with that. Yeah, that's about it. One take. All right, cool.